Classic rock. Revisit. Classic rock.
Now, another song, though, that's got a story behind it's Latimer's Mercy.
Well, Latimer's Mercy, Kevin Sugar and I were talking one day in the studio, and he was telling me the story about it, and it's really fucking sad. Are you married with kids?
Yes, sir.
I mean, can you imagine that the situation? You know the story about Latimer's Mercy, yeah?
Yeah, I believe was it his daughter that had a terminal illness?
No, his daughter was born with every neurological fucking problem you can imagine, and she kept having seizures, so they put her on these very heavy seizure medication. Now the side effect of the seizure medication is something like you can't take pain medication. This woman was in constant pain, and so in the end he got put in jail for killing his daughter. But then I thought to myself, what the hell would I do in that position? It's a very, very tricky situation. Is it godly, as they say, to let your child suffer like that? I don't know what the answer is. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but that must be a fucking a really awful position to be in.
I agree, man. I mean, that's what makes it heavy, and it's kind of like you have these songs like this, man, that they just reach out and grab your attention, and then a lot of people go back and find the stories. Like everybody didn't know who Mr. Crowley was.
A letter from, apparently, somebody sent a letter to my office from Latimer, because they were going to release him on what's that thing, parole.
Probation or parole or whatever, yeah.
But he wouldn't say to the parole board that what he did was wrong.
Now, on a funner note, a lighter note, I talked to Bill Ward last week.
Yeah.
Bill, it was about the 40th anniversary of Paranoid, of course.
Yeah.
But Bill told me something that had me laughing on the floor. He said that you used to set him on fire quite a lot, and that you even once painted his dick blue.
What?
He said you painted his dick blue once.
Oh, yeah.
That's true story?
Yeah. Mind you, we're all under the influence of certain things.
I just wondered how that would come up in conversation.
Billy's my dearest friend. I mean, throughout the fucking breakup of the band, Sabbath, he's always remained a very dear friend of mine. I love him. He's a fucking great guy. I have the greatest respect for the man. He's fucking, to have come back from where he was at the end of the day, he's fucking nothing short of a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
There, but for the grace of God go I.
It was worse than you?
I don't know about worse, but he was as bad, Now,
you're known as the Prince of Darkness, but I'm a big fan. I followed your career. I happen to know that you've got a sense of humor that's huge.
Oh yeah, I mean, my sense of humor has kept me alive, I think. I mean, being dyslexic and attention deficit disorder at school, nobody knew what the fuck it was about, so I used to get round school by being the clown,
That was my question, was did you develop it to fit in better? So you really did.
Oh, yeah.
That's incredible, man. And now, someone told me you were a Monty Python fan. Is that true?
Big time. Big Monty Python.
Oh, me too, man. The parrot's my favorite thing in the world.
The Life of Brian, I must have watched that 50 billion times.
Man, I do want to say, too, now, did you set the record at Dodger Stadium?
Yep.
It worked.
Yeah.
And I watched the YouTube. Of course, for people that don't know, that's where you guys were going for the loudest scream to promote the album.
Yeah.
Now, what was that like, man? I mean,
it was awesome. It was very nerve-wracking, to be honest. I mean, I didn't have the band to help me. I was on my own, and it was great fun.
Now, you also did, and I laughed my ass off, Ozzy, you did that thing at Madame Tussauds where you pretended to be a wax dummy?
Yes. I mean, it was scary because I thought if anybody comes down that corridor as an elderly person, I'm not going to do it because, I don't want to give somebody a fucking heart attack.
And my favorite thing I learned on your website, you're now a health columnist.
Oh yeah. It's only a joke thing. It's not, I mean, I suddenly find myself giving some sensible fucking advice, it's not to be taken that seriously, but somebody, one of the letters that came in was a guy who was overweight and he was addicted to food. And so I said to him, maybe a bit of exercise and get in touch with a nutritionist would help. And then I said, before you exercise, I suggest you go and see your doctor to see if it's okay that you do exercise. I was like, fuck me, that's sensible.
I'm thinking you ought to, would you consider being a sex columnist?
No.
You just wouldn't want to tell people what to do, huh?
I don't know what the fuck to do myself, so I can't tell anybody else.
Now, Ozzy, I know you got a full day of interviews, and this one's a little selfish because I've listened to your music. I mean, I bought Blizzard Laws the day it came out. I was there in line, and I got it the first minute you could grab that, and I've been with you ever since. Randy Rhoads is a hero to me.
Yeah.
What is a favorite memory that you have of Randy that you can share?
I remember, back then I was a junkie alcoholic. And I remember when Randy's mother came to England when he was living with me. And we were at rehearsals. And I'm sitting one side of his mother, and he's sitting the other side of his mother. And his mother turns to him and goes, "So when do I get to meet this Ozzy guy?" And he goes, "Ma, you're sitting next to him." And she went, "Oh my God, no." She expected to see some young, thin, fucking, some alcohol, bloated, fucking older guy.
Now you still are in touch with Dolores, aren't you?
Yeah. She's getting older now. She's very, very old, and we went to see her quite recently about something or other, and we saw her, and she says I think she's about 90 now, I believe. And she said to me, and I said to the doctor, all I want to know is, can I still teach at my school? She's still fucking teaching, can you believe that? She's remarkable. She's unbelievable, that woman. And every time I see her, I get really sad because I often go to myself, if he wasn't with me, he would not have been on the plane. It's something that you got to live with, you know.
That's true. I wanted to ask one that's a serious question in a way that I'm sure others have asked you. You're not 25 years old. This is a big tour you're going to go on. Are you prepared vocally and mentally and physically? I mean, how do you prepare for this? Well,
I have a vocal coach.
Really?
Yeah, that comes around and gives me some tips. But, I'm the world's worst at getting advice. I'm like, fuck you. And, so every morning I get up, I do my scales, and I slowly greet the day with vocal exercises. But it's just what I do, But that's part of the job as well.
Do you think that Scream is, in my opinion, it's the best thing you've done since No More Tears?
Well, you know what? You've just heard it first. I've been living with it for a long, long while now. So I'm thinking about the next album rather than, it's an old album for me now. But I'm really pleased the way it turned out. I mean, people often ask me this question: what is my best song? What do I think is the best song I sang on, or whatever? But I don't judge a song. I mean, when I think of a previous album, I think of where my head was at the time that I was doing it, I mean, Blizzard and Diary with Randy Rhoads was a very special album to me. I mean, and when they took the bass player and the drummer up for legal reasons, I was kind of pissed off about all that, So.
I was too, but I mean, as the artist, you had no say in stopping that, huh?
Yeah, well, I could have left it on, but the lawsuits would have been continuing. It was just, people are fucking unbelievable, Then we won at the end of the day anyway, so I said, Sharon, we've got to put it back on.
Now, of course, the Sabbath fans want to know if there's any chance that you guys are going to ever get back together.
You know what? If Bill Ward's playing drums and Tony Iommi playing guitar and Geezer Butler's playing bass and I'm singing, I don't see why not. But right now, it's not going to happen in the next 18 months. But, I mean, poor old Ronnie passed away the other week, so it was sad.
And you guys, a lot of people think you two were enemies.
No,
that was not the truth.
I mean, I spoke to Tony about a week or so after he came over for Ronnie James Dio's funeral.
I tell you what, my last one for you, you're going to kill me. All through the book, I kept laughing because you kept bringing up biting the head off a bat. So I purposely thought, I'm not going to ask him a question about biting the head off the bat. And then I found myself writing, what's most embarrassing looking back? Outfits, I'll give you three choices. Outfits that Sharon's made you wear, pissing on the Alamo, and I couldn't think of a third one, so I had to put biting the head off a bat.
All three.
Do you have any last final thoughts on this album and tour coming up that you want me to convey to people?
If the people enjoy my record, that's great.
It's that simple, huh?
Yeah.
Well, man, I do enjoy it, and I enjoy your career, and I'm watching tour dates. Give Tommy Clufetos a very hard time for me. Make him earn it.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, God bless.
Thank you, Ozzy.
Classic rock.